Good evening and thanks for joining us. He was already under investigation for breach of trust and fraud. Now Senator Mike Duffy could be in even deeper trouble. The RCMP wants to access Duffy's bank records, alleging he used the Senate for a dishonest purpose. The RCMP alleged Duffy gave a friend a lucrative Senate contract for more than $60,000, but little actual work was ever done, and it's not at all clear where the money ended up. Jacques Bourbeau is following the story for us in Ottawa. Jacques?
Well, Donna, these explosive new allegations are contained in this affidavit, which was filed by the Mounties today at Ottawa's courthouse. At Mike Duffy's house in suburban Ottawa, no one is home, as new court documents raise more questions about how Duffy has been spending taxpayers' money. The latest allegations contained in these court documents filed by the RCMP today. The Mounties alleging Senator Duffy hired a friend as a consultant over an approximate 4-year period and paid him a total of approximately $65,000 during that time for little or no apparent work. In 2010, Duffy sent this letter to the Senate outlining the duties of Gerald Donahue, a friend of Duffy's they met while both working at CTV. The letter says Donahue did research for Duffy, wrote speeches, and provided advice on web page design. Problem is, Donahue told the RCMP he has never written a speech for Duffy. And as for working on Duffy's website, Donahue doesn't think he's ever seen it.
How is it possible that some guy who claims he runs a concrete form business gets paid $65,000 to prepare a website that he's never even seen? He seems to have no expertise in, and the Senate pays this off.
To help prove its case, the RCMP is seeking access to bank records, hoping to identify where the money went after it was deposited, as Donahue claims that he personally did not receive any of that money. Gerald Donahue lives just outside of Ottawa. Someone was home, but they didn't want to talk, threatening to call the cops.
Or his private property. Goodbye.
We just have a few questions.
Now, Global News did contact Mike Duffy by email to find out what he has to say about these allegations. In his response, it would be inappropriate for me to comment while these matters are being examined by the RCMP. Donna?
All right, Jacques, thanks. Our chief political correspondent, Tom Clark, joins me now. Tom, at the heart of all this is the fact Mike Duffy was spending public money, and when you do that, you have to be transparent about it. This appears anything but transparent.
On both counts, Donna, you're right. If he was helping out an old pal, he was using Canadians' money to do it, not his own. And that is at the heart of the problem. The other part, transparency, it appears, at least from what the RCMP have provided to the court, that this was designed to be opaque. And for one good reason, I suppose, and that is that Jerry Donahue is on disability. Therefore, he cannot make an income. Therefore, the money could be transferred directly to him. So that is part of what the RCMP is trying to untangle and unwind in this. At the end, Donna, they know where the money came from. They're just not sure who and where it ended up with.
And the RCMP allege in the affidavit Duffy used his office for a dishonest purpose, that he committed breach of trust and fraud. That's serious stuff when it comes to the law, but also politically.
Oh, no, for sure. I mean, legally, it doesn't get much more serious than, when you hear the term criminal investigation. But let's be clear, no charges have been laid, nothing has been proven, no evidence has been put on the table. But you're right, the court of public opinion, that's an entirely different matter. Look, not only is this very bad for Mike Duffy and his own future, but it's also very bad news for Stephen Harper. He wants everybody to pay attention to his throne speech next week in the so-called big reset of the government. He doesn't want people continuing to peer at old conservative Senate scandals, but this is going to take a very long time to be resolved on, no matter which way it goes. It could even take years. So Stephen Harper better get used to the weight of the albatross that he's got around his neck.
All right, thanks, Tom.